Today is Tuesday, the 26th, 2015, if I'm not wrong. Okay, suddenly the clear fact that at this past noon, while I am here in Buenos Aires, is exactly a bleki mogen de fachlige shespatligi megadachman maserve chef. We agreed with your honors and what it is the Anti-Terrorism Council and War Council to declare certain things as giving some element of evidences. It's really indispensable, the clear fact of what institutions, which we came on discussing to, putting the normal emphasis, if this is for the recalling certain descriptive point, at what this means, what we are doing and we go through. This is not a joke and having so much things that is better now to say around at this moment, but neither to give information for what we understand it is not, to not be. Now, the right moment of today, it's going to be a very delicate point. I came about fighting this since I just have been back called the reality of this, the supposed schizoid religious mythic point will be a simplicity for some elemental to suppressible clear point to discrediting as trivial schizoid. Oh, come serious, don't you talk to me about religion. Well, religion is a class of a lack of sickness that so long time we came on suffering, and not for the faith of people, and not for the faith who has the right ever trying to proceed with some element for reference about not what as belief, but certain element for self-keeping as the morals to embracing as hope, which means life, and at last, besides the disasters and what naturally so often this world never came to survive, something to remain that we can embrace at the future. And not only what as future can really provide, but suddenly certain immediate need for humanity understands. The situation is religion is a very market as well for the crime and for the organized sickness that we are suffering. And with religious, we understand there are off of realities concepted or conceptualized at the point for the mind to evaluate itself and the reality for wording like a thing like you believe. And off of believe, and nothing can be really plausible at the clear fact of any other but what reverently culture just delivered. Let's put it in clear, certain point of this. Through elementals and through clear categorical institutions, there were a very element structural and elemental for the clear as the activities which institutions will put in orders at the chaos and disasters. And chaos and disasters were reverently about the normal ghosts that delivered between the agony and antagony for the one that fighted for the right and the ones at the ghosting shadows around for the frightening whoever to save themselves as best they can. It were permanently all around, happened permanently, all as centuries we know and we consciously will ever just still carrying through what life means. So suddenly this market of sickness which we came on suffering for human record, scores, whatever this to put in definition or define. Certainly as clear for what we understand, this is not something to lightly taking, because of if you tell me a religious sick at the understanding hero, God believing, Adonai, Jew. How will this Pharisaic, which wouldn't be at the term, but Pharisaiah, which actually is Pharisaic, because I find no other way to express, and nothing pejorative or something to denigrate, or any other element like legalist, or you got to experience power, 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 power. And where is your God? Revealing, and revealing through the, I have the dimensional. Culture has so much sides of destruction and corruption and domain for power, power. And power, power is okay. I'm telling you, understanding administrating, which power means, is one thing. Power, power two. I am the star. We have problem. Okay, let's put in things in order. Plekken mag reflecting mag respectlaak if you spot the praktika and ratachlaag mat simply was what it is. So suddenly happened so much things, and all through what at simokti mag respecting but like it is so. So at the clear evidence for the whole of the millenniums and centuries we came through this. We understand today there is no much place, or we just completely get drowned in a or simply sinned while through and there is something which we should understand. We don't have to self-exterminate it, and we don't need to destroy what we understand it is for. The meaning of the truth, and we understand that it's having some often like non-element to handle or impossible to even embrace a possible elemental reality to how to survive it. But certain clear fact is nothing is illogical except as the limits which this power delivers, or the death around. But one thing I know, even though as millenniums this came on recreating structures and all class of elements for delimitating and conditioning for no one to rip them out and they to remain and making the sickness we suffer today, is something like it means if they just done what they've done, it's because of we are who we are. And that one that supposedly is trivial and so element for we're serious is because of history and not religion. So let's make it real clear. Sorry. So point for this. Here were happening practically the organization and administration and training and deliver for information and much other to the world about scoring the disasters. And we were suffering so often since 2003 and never stopped. Now, to the putting clear, one thing is also true. The element for this, which they called strategy intelligence, and what as infrastructure for supposed defense of the patriot, were permanently studying, like recurrently, criminology or any other institution will deliver. The point is, ain't nothing like criminology about these criminals abominables. So suddenly we come with a very permanent making Masonry styling Breisberger, which were Nazi and is around here still. So suddenly this old dust of hell still delivers ideas for this, let's coming again, Jurassic, Cretaceous, Sodom and Gomorrah, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, and bodies, to still making the deliverance for destructions and elemental sickness that they are used to and they never let go, with a pride of abomination and with a very subject of my genetic and my existence will ever be useful for them to be the supposed superior upon the world, if they will ever be put at forth, or element for the making the kleki bachave. So suddenly we're permanently strategizing with them prostitution brothels, with a burden of victims that I am not going to say at this moment the term. Forgive me, please. Not for they will be, or for I to have interest as about making no weird, but just this. Other clear of the still making the same and provided to the power thing remain and making us, they thirst the same to be science, and while we to understanding what it is and defining and putting in evidence the reality to putting in orders and saying no and destroying what they do, that then makes disasters and terrors, for they don't want to release the power. This witch shed, let's say the term, witch shed, but this abominable freaks, with the burden of the victims all around, that we understand, to became actually a point essential for the disaster and the genocide upon the world, especially Jewish, and related on my person. Some reason got to be, if I will be an element for offense of the emblem and patriot, do you need a code to kill to the world for the pride? Let's think sense. What does it mean? To fusilate, they said the term, murder millions for Ejército Argentino to be offensed by non-FUGGE pretended supposedly to be. And they are saying that I cannot live from here because of they are not going to lose power. And also supposed to generate and criminal and terrorist. So at the point of the view of the truth, if you have sense and natural, that's putting in clear, natural, reason use and natural, normal judgment, so identifying what succeeding and what frustrated in front of this agony and antagony had no sense for murdering millions, for I to call them the way I do supposed offense. And they just say that I won't live because of they won't miss the power. At the same view, in front of the same screen, at the same time, at the same moment, and what will just remain. So suddenly this sickness pretended of superior caste and gold underbelly to be respected and loved and adored and oraled and just giving for the supposed gold underbelly to be supreme. Sodom and Gomorrah. At the clear for this days, Bleki Magrebe Fechlaki Mirebe Fochlaki Visosin. Bleki Magrebe Pachlach Adna Kitzabak. So point of the reality and point of the view. Leki Magrebe Fechliki Magrebe Fochlaki Visosin. Point of the view. Bondleki Magrebe de Beflach Vesible Vesople Dishve Technik Ople Vesmat. Kelki Magrebe Fechlachim. Anybody can. Putting an example, an element, and you have rights for opinion. You have rights for the whatever you want to think and whatever you instauratable reality can prove. But they kills and destroys and forges and organizes and suppresses who shows the truth and the truth shown. So prove it. And the reality itself that proves and shows who they are and what they do. Then, all through, smart son of up. Got the backs, true backs. I said first! story, my histrionic, I want to kill them again. Stopping me with my control. Got them, son of a snake, got that, sorry. Blijf van het leg met zich is wat ze maar. Eindelijk immer, we vergelijken we stof met man met seshla. Tachla. So suddenly let's being serious. Creedery. Field of plausible theory, elemental, for concretely prove if possible. And what do you prove while murdering all the proof and disappearing the whole of the already proved? Prove it. Studying Kirchner's. Kan ramapler vispartish, wat ramaplik imachave sasim. Sleki morave fechaleki biroafos, boableki marave sasmata vesasha, tzfati. Remasem. So now we are going to work in a very clicky marasim and we're going to prove some special great element for justice about abominables and sickness, religious, trivial psychopaths organized, pretender of government of Argentina with a burden of you. Now, Bleki Malgrave Fechlikim, Bargrave Chalvi Soslim, una is making the same, and let's put in evidence a certain reality that it's providing for murders and genocides all over the world. Kirchners are exactly the class of an organization and administration for Sodom and Gomorrah, and then empire, and then business, which it means as we will be livestock, or simply meat for glorious, sickness and degenerates, Sodom and Gomorrah, or simply stuff for making gondola for the degenerates, or market for the degenerates and criminals. Whatever this be, the nomination, known and impossible to believe to be truth. The extremeless that you will never just putting at the evidence, and the extremist that you will never think possibly be. Pleki marrevet fachlikim marrevet swatli visvatli kishvat techal ki marretechman nasman levzisvet ishkut wat chnala sush. So suddenly we found in the middle of the soul that we came on suffering experiments because of their researches how to be powered and how to become supposed gods. In base of destroying my life, in base of raping and murdering our people, all gender, all age, and how to supposedly update with the supposed, let's put in evidence the reason or reasonable and reasoning glands and reasoning, how to sing this, how to sensitively making the pleki we're putting some fludge or some insemination, and that will work at the sciences Argentina, like some insemination and fludge up on a very microsurgery up on the brain of a flea, or a fly, for that to jumping the flea, just coming to suck blood and saying, I marked you, I own them. Or a fly to come all over around and just making some suck around and saying, I deposited my semen in some semen, it's gonna accept me and I'm gonna check it out because if I'm gonna come in with my semen inside the fly just overflowing until 6 seconds and fallen rotten in the middle of the way because of wanting to making some experience for espionage. But I'm going to make the mind control on the semen inside of the brain of the fly, so I hear it, I see everything. And it's not a lie, and it's not a joke, and it's not delusional about they are. So I'm going to prove a little bit more than this, like a very semen inside of circuits about the Ejército Argentino, Estrategia Inteligencia. They says they are the superior caste, and how is this elemental science for the Argentina that we will run. About they will handle it that way with a TRMT circuit and making a insemination above, saying that even at the DMC cell, putting semen there, they are going to make the this way and making the crustes to overflowing, and they will do what I do. Also, they will prove that they will do what I do while I do, over preventing me and emulating in front of the dissociating cameras and some others. In front of the world, I mean, the press and let's, oh my god. This is not pretending to ridiculizing or discrediting or disfamating. This is exactly the truth which is happening daily here. And there's the saying that they will put BMC chromosomes of my genetics in them glances, and they will have the gold C word, phallus, and they will F word, sex, rape, actually, in a very glorious heaven. And I'm gonna put them death. So suddenly, kremopleki marrevefechli gishvasekla kamarrevefechli gidisosin, bleki marrevefechle disfotla gishvatemefperta. If you consider power element for life, you consider this. At least you do understand power to be element for administrating and how to preserve corruption and deflection and masonry off from. Sleki mal revefechlikim bar revefechla retechlegim esop levisvotika revefechlo achmatzech legidisos limisin. Galkim mal revefechla achmatzech lebiop levisosive. And is difficult and is dangerous. So suddenly we should understand, even though and it's not a way. Now, to the point of this power element for study, were also what we just have been speaking, which is genetics, and how to making the best coefficient of profanation to making espionage, robbery, and murder, and rape, and destructions, which doesn't work, except for whenever compounds thousands about one person, like me. And those thousands dies and goes thousands extras to saying our next term. So this is a very permanential, sorry for the term, sick, abominable freak out of masses of diligently degenerates and criminals, cycles, conscious ones, for making what they says got to be. So, like we say, I will rub a very designing that I done last night, and I sent while your honors and this corporation which we were working with for justice and states bodies, they wanted to know how will I do a very classic sub. So suddenly started to making lines and giving a very essential draft for what as prime lines. So elemental for like having an idea of some designing plausibly for this to be some four-wheel drive. Suddenly all through, supposedly I rubbed to this like the rest all, but they didn't do nothing but expecting it to open lines or connecting before I descend. While that turns to hacking my accounts, downloading and protecting, and don't you see here rub to us, while the corporation and the corporations and the Alliance for Justice and States bodies already are rolling that for market, already produced and tested. So suddenly, they were ready, and they conceived about the advisement and possibility when we exchanging how to possibly producing, manufacture, and they done that way. And warehouse and what they've done are amazing. Now, which is not amazing, is exactly this permanently obstructing the possibility of the natural normal to go through and trying to disfigurate, suppress, destroy, corrupt, and deflecting whatever to be the real and genuinely existence as element for what normal means. We exist, we are. To be natural. At the point 4, they will be the power to possess. With this mixed with anybody, anything, everything, and permanently organized to already learned and studied how to, making people believe it, taking out teller tab, and making the holes possible for elements for descriptively anybody or any institution to say no, that is not true. Oh, but and forgeries and liars, coins for lives, and any coin for any tell for any son of a snake around, and also the whole of the structural force suppression, murder, destruction, and the liars. Oh, needs medications, you know, and any class of a sickness, while and through making the study for the being abominable as shit, like semen up on a circuit of engineering, electronics, and cybertronic, for the pretending with that and some mind control of the fingers of the self-condition of the to saying with a little, I concentrate myself. So this will be superior caste and technological. Invasive profaning and making the generations. And altars and animals, rapes and sacrificial, and humans. And one of the sites over this study is experimental with genetics, like Nazis were doing, like this, where Revival's making with this son of a snake to generate old piece of a scum, hell one, still around with some assistance, the sick freak, and everyone with this just making what they do. So 70, let's talk about this. I have been speaking about the, what it were called, Anubis project. But there were a previous project which were called, which via so blaze which and Argentina, and it's not a lie. And all through this undercover, which were called the Project of Future Master Star Burning, which were exactly the Beasts project, which permanently this with masonry and delivered the reality for DNA corruption, animal and umami found and concerned to be by witches, something referred about Pharaoh, and were the eighth generation of Ramses II at the power, put it like. Now, Ablegim borre partaka halachma taklikim barre fochle visol visosvasi. Salkim oplekim barre fochle chabat bispatika chadachumusman maseva. Blegim borre fechle hivisosim. Iblegim borre spot paseva. And one thing is certainly truth. Blegim borre fechle visos motleki pat chadatim. And like that one, at the prime 3, were a failure and a disaster. The 4th were the sickness that we all suffered. And from that on, a very radical in vitro clonating with certain capacities and differential for genetics engineering delivered from Bin Black and from Adbaran, which stolen for one side and 3 members inside giving supporting, and making institutions for coring these activities, and this is, sorry for this to word to them, at the clear for the glegi marre fechli kan marre fochle viswas levisa. So sadly, in vitro, making clonation of human and bringing diabolos, yes, which ain't nothing like in Plechwesim, and directly fathers and mothers which chosen for the making this, after birth then found in a very complex of health and destruction the most, and delivered for rape and murder, because of Teitos and loses no power. And we're trivial. Now, blegi magre fechla hamat secheli giv shvatla ke magre fechla hamat lebet speak shvatli ki magre sam blegi magre fechla giv shvati be shvatachla hadem sasim. Started making what I just denounced for long ago. Friends of mine related and peoples related about who I am, Jewish and others, are the reality to be sold like merchandise for testers, laboratory, all associated with this, and others at the condition for they doesn't give no shit about nothing nobody. Now, clear for this is we were rescuing them. We were fighting for them as well, but a lot were just murdered. And what exactly the Tikmachlechevisachnim of reopening of the Fourth Reich by Argentina, military, and Kirchner's, with this degenerate and build back up. So suddenly, this situation delivered into other class of an instant, and sorry for the messing. Pleki magre vecht laki magre vecht levisot levison nasfati ke magre techleki vishmot laki rapat pasvit. Akleko rapat pik magre vecht levisos mat. Talaki pok karofa gelak magre tapusmon maspat leki vismon skubati. Now, pleki magre vecht laki magre sidasin. We will talk and siboplik di boetik ishmat imot labav. At the discussion for this, we have been really talking and discussing for a lot of things to having a very conscious state and trying to put in evidence which is not exactly acceptable. That however the state of a person, however this to be, even though as the self-suicidal ain't not acceptable, however the person to be like. Point of this. You need to know there exists real science. You need to see there exists real science. You need to prove, making and provide information there exists real science. What we understand like scientific thought delivers from the same instant for anything to be validatable for the disasters and abominations, which is exactly this. I said first, I come first, masonry and sickness that says that raping massively a woman, like Cuerpo Médico Forense Argentino, except for fire, but degenerates and sacrificial and saying, still worthless for something good, and slaughtering a woman, suppressing the immunology of a transvestite, with a quote of contamination for prostitution, and delivering a very cocktail of 7 antibiotics with anti-inflammatories with immunosuppressors, at the reality of transplanting and saying it's going to become a woman, putting genetics of DMIC on a protein only, rot. About to saying human is going to empathy making and will work. For that one to start with intern hemorrhages and destructions and over DRMT, self-destruction, for also the antibiotics gets resistant bacteria and diseases, while and through already resistant enough for washing, marinating with the hysterectomy. Telling that will ever work. And after that, we're a transvestite anyway, we can follow one another, we're gonna find a way. Rehearsal and fail, that is what we understand. Degenerados criminales abominables. That's nothing like science. no progress, no normal, no nothing, but shit. And it's what Argentina provides. And we will rob. Now, with the burden of victims and who fights for making some interesting real. Now, blikema rebe fechlikim ba rebe spaktika rebe fechlechematzim chabachlikim rebe fochleki visotlechma rebe spachleki visosim. Blekim bo rebe plakim rebe fechlakim rebe fachleki visfochtecha ba rebe fachleki shvasim o blekim rebe tim. Blekim rebe fechlikim rebe fochot lebesas. In blokim rebe spachlimitzim. So, the clear of this is a point for and the reality is pretending to proceed at making some power extra. So, last night I were watching in ISAT channel, I don't regularly see it, a very movie referring about some glass of abysses with a fluo, a bite or something. And the reality of that is exactly a certain class of Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina and Sur, with associated working in. The clear fact of this is they want power, and they says that with the semen, or making the odors of them semens and the flutes, and the clear of a the business will ever attach the command and will be directed by order of mind control, and they will be supreme by profaning me and saying that they will be coming to me and will do what I do. Well kept on murdering and trading and obstructing and making the same deteriorations for robbing me and trying to obstruct them, being before on the I will signating them on the forged my signature that I sent for corroborational to LIAISON office and Gov.il, Gov.us of more forgery before, and the actual now, saying that I would give them whatever they just the liar they want. Now the real fact of this, playing with people's lives and making a market with anyone as being an icon, a celebrity, a star, or a genius, or some worth for humanity, while providing themselves genetics route, saying that even LeBron and Gov.il will ever give them signating, and Mr. Presidents and your runners and whoever, whatever. Now, the less fortunate will ever attach at the reality that they will provide the solution of the world. Everybody will become divine and Superman, Superwoman, and star, and create over a cocktail of genetics to healing or killing, styling Cuerpo Médico Forense Argentino, with the pardon of the tribe, and PJ in Argentina, except for the number of trying to preserving still under threatening, and the reality of certain others that are fighting to trying to making some job while surviving as best as possible threatening or threatened. So now, a blegma rebe fechlikim bar rebe fochlegi bisvatlekim rebe tachlach ishvasma blegma rebe fechlegi masop lebismatzim galgim rebe fechlegi rebe fechlachem adlechai gishvat bablegim rebe chmadvesim. And we found 9,987,204 experiments in base of making witchcraft, altars, rapes, murders, and all the generations with the bodies United Evangelics, Kirchners, Unasur. And the whole for going, for a title, for a car. Oh, I want to travel. Give me a cruiser. I want to go to Polynesia. Oh my God. Can I have cheese? And I'm gonna like, oh my God. I say anything. I am your witness. I am your favorite testimony. Everything is hallowed. Everyone is agreed. So suddenly, klikim Glegi Mongrave Fechlakim Borgavesbach, the Heshvetika, Halachmotlaki Borgavtabasvi. Salki Borgave Fechlakim Borgavesachti Sosim. La Kibotika, La Kimorave Vertica, Rebepochlach Matspatica, Plevises Mamaseshpati. Kerchpati. I am the one that works. Christina Kirchner gave it me. This is work for them. I'm going to name you the most of the radical at this moment and emergencies. The rest giving you the evidences. Taking people of ours for the making the putting 904 new diseases mutationally, genetically modified for the making money with laboratories, solutions for the world. We will serve and being useful for something worthy, they says we will at the way of them. The solutions of Luciano Troviano. So laboratories like the whole associated to them will ever have millions by destroying our people and releasing diseases that will be the supposed judgment of the master and the evangelics to the world for the place that people will ever have to buy medications and paying the tax for living with that. We count with the Bleki Bartika, Prachmat Legima Rabefoch, Legivisop Legima Rabesep, Leviswat Legima Parnemis, Legima Rasisim, and I give you the Blekimo Respas, but Sishwasinim, Badamekam, over Bleki Bartisim, for the who you have Iskletes Yamitaniria, delivered for the PIMC, Blekimo Rabefech Lakimisafim. Declaiminia dismasavania, plecamorabes facim, clespatica, caredinol, banclegimisesive, laerubum tacbicartedia, plecamorabesot levisos insar, clenkibacetor, batligimarabessim, blakishmoselegimerim, blakimarabesotle disparebesim, bla and spot, incloopticamot. Legimarabe plachamet, blivesonum, blakisherpicamarabesasim, blagin rabetlavis, polipitoctigimisaklekam, blakivisorefsam, glenko rabit blavisvi, Blabesonam Blinka Marabesoslim, Babligimaradesport, Besoslivish, Sikam Bablekavav, Kalkimorabetlachmit, Blefsoslivish, Botikamarabesasim, Blein Rabetlach, Halekimorabesportica, Bablefsosive, Lecolacticor Ablican Rachla, Dar Amaplefsim, Par Avortatica, Lan Rochol, Kimorabesasim, Linka Blekimarabefoch, Ligivisotlikimisam, Likambat, Ligimespop, Levisvasivash Otaka, Galkimo Rabefachlegim, Rabefachlegim, Batlevison Civilisi, Katlikim Marbi Nasemba, Galacticamo Rabesib, Tesluma Rabesim, with the 904 of the Badamecum of Lindbergh over research and what will that all means or be. Blekimo Rabefachlegim Rabesam, all at the exponential of Pinklekim Mochbertisman. Diklikim Barhevsim with the 8.8 pi itsalkish kolam gal chomal klikim barhev fotlis in the klekim moch and bishklek and spoof. Dilaki remot zislo shellak angrinal. Ilvita. Barlikim barhev fochlakimesim. Blekam barhev fechlikim barhevs bartika ratachlak mosachinim. We can fight it, there exists help, and we are gonna make the tap, and I'm gonna put them in the hell. The reasons of this, still we have the click Machavesim, this will teach Svati and already shall be ended. Now, at the referendum 4, this should be ended, conscience, and not ever obstructing and not raising for, but he's killing people! I'm telling you one thing, I don't kill, I execute. And I am working with LIAISON office and with International Court of Justice and state bodies. And I am a member of LIAISON office, even if the liar says things that never happens. Oh my God! I am a member of LIAISON office. And I'm being kidnapped systemically here with the liars. Oh my god, he thinks it's gonna be we don't remain in heaven. And they pretend to take my life in my place. But there's shit they are, making what I'm telling and putting in evidence here. And no one of these tarras, sorry the word, makes no video and gives no information because of their compounding. I said first, I done first. I control and administrate this business. Now you give me and put me because if I'm going to earn my job and I've shown you that I am capable and I have the capacity. So I will deliver and I will elementally just come delusionally, dangerously that they will be working for the national security, but I will make the clique of a cycle over having evangelicals at the right top of the evidence for the testimonial about I will have that same capacity of supposed terror and dangers playing with the government, and Policía Federal Argentina will managing the whole of the acknowledging capacity with the government of Argentina, military Argentina, and the whole of the forensics, and the whole as the government and sensing the acknowledging, oh my god, nation health ministry. And they will be just trying to attach to the reality for supposed law and human rights, for I will be dangerous, really seriously, for telling that I will say what they will be working on while they are the sickness that sustains this and makes business with any miserable shit they exist about their lives. So, Blegema Rebefechli Gimisfatika Rebefochle Bismansenim. And Blegema Rebefechla Kimbo Rebefechla Rebisfochle Bisosmativa. And robbing me and murdering while I try to be nearing or somebody to approach me. Like, for about 1.5 months, one person official for UPS corporation, 300 meters away from it, are murdered, but them neighbors, buddies. I'm a friend of the President Cristina Kirchner, and I fight for the Patriot. This one! Because of wanting to deliver documents of LIAISON office and US government and Israel government for I too present myself and attest to my family and the immediate to be aware about what I will be proceeding for. Example. Now, Blegimar Rebbe Fechli, Kamar Rebbe Fachtla, Karati Kabachel Vivoch Matsi, Boblegi Resman, Messecheli Vishvat, Vimachatikis Fasim. Blegimar Rebbe Fechla, Habetsus blood is fascinating power, 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 power. Who is the worth? And what is the worth? The plebe. I'm going to tell you one thing. Oppressed ain't nothing like that. And this masonería degenerada enferma, seeking the opportunism for, will be chosen and predilected for the reality of the master that everybody admired, that they said, looked up for. The beast. And they will make we are going to show that we are not going to be embarrassed in front of the world, and nobody's going to take our positions, and nobody's going to treated us like shit. And we're going to show we're superior, and the world shall attach, and we are going to domain now, not the Yankees. And whenever it says the Yankees, it doesn't say American, it says Masonry, which were the permanent power element with the man. And this way, with the men. You understand the idiom, deliver for power, shit. There were a permanent Yankee. There are amazing people that I really care for. The way I did in Argentina, but one thing I tell you, masonería degenerada militar argentina y Kirchner son lo mismo. Enfermedad repodrida evangelista unida. No hay absolutamente nada que vos hayas existido excepto por abominables, y es lo único que vas a tener eterno. Parrada de mierda. Blekima rebe fechla kimo rebe fochla ham, lekimo rebe fechli kishvatika rebe plachmachal chevitzvot levisvasevim. Kelkoma rebe fechla chvatsa ablevisosa blevesvasimin. Blekima rebe fechla chivitosvat, blekima rebe fochla vesvasimin. Blekima rebe fechnikim. So, they says that they are going to show power, domain, and supremacy. But they says will be healing the ones that they will determinate and put it to be, because of they will be the superpowered in the kingdom of heaven, about to do to me what they are doing, and I will be delivering for the delivers the raso degenerados de sol, about making what they says it's the way for power and domain, supreme shit, yeah. Other clear for the plague marave fechlag mat sechali gimarave fochla bispot bispot gimarave spa and plague marave vesmin and like marave pospechali vesmin. I will need medications because of they got to show that they are superior and supreme, and they will make it happen because of I will steal them what I do and my life. Bleki marave fechlag mat sechali gimarave fochla habat bledi bispot masiveka kalgi marave sim. And Cuerpo Médico Forense Argentino, except for 5, delivering, delusional, hallucinating, consciously and intentional. They will know, and they will be the supreme of the health. But transvestites murdering, saying that gotta work in a time. And others, being healthily normal, delivered for destruction, saying that they commence and nobody offenses them for the will of the patriot. And the business are not taken off, and they are not going to be offensed and embarrassed. Like evangelics, delivering that I robbed them, and I've done everything that they the liars, and I will be everything that they has with them. At the pejorative and sickness, with the burden of the victims. And forever. That ain't nothing like me, and won't be. And I never done. But themselves. At the clear fact of pretending to, because of they wouldn't be embarrassed, and pretending to using the name of the God, saying, because of the Lord. Now, plegima rebe fechligima rebe, pachlegibes pochlagima rebe swachelishos fasin. Plegima rebe pachlegibes rotosman, mat plegima rebe sochelibis sotelisis, fatigma chlekima rebe swotelis monovesit, leves wasika. Plegima rebe pachlagima rebe satlibin, mat leves oslibis vatelis, fatigma rebe pachlagima sechalekimin pat, klekbika rebe pechlegibis, sotlevis osam, leves vatim, mat plegima rebe sotlebison, ispatigma rebe pachlegima rebe pachlegibis sotlegimi, parchetis fotelison, tatsis pat basviki, aplegima rebe pachlanis satibus montat ligimi radesman, safini katakta aradakara. Kalek robatica, robdesmaniat, segime robatlofes, manabaplagiram, harbasmanin, civiskubat, carberobuat, simoti, poptima, timotiko, morin, babletisma, siboplaves, porabes wasin, schlegima rebefachlegime rebesos, libis, manabaplagima rebefachlegis wasibat, lebis wademe plegima rebefachlegima rebefachlebisos, lebis wasnatikima rebeswasin, plegima rebefachlega betospi, plegima rebeswache, fishwatika, maplaki, barbeatis, manabasibet, stuart, spot. Kalkima rabach, matlegima rabafachal, visible blavish, super, plegima rabasu, blavisma, kalkiboristis na akshkotlak, at stua, remi, ad mibi, ad nemavum. The problem is, people are dying. And the problem is, keep on making the same abomination, and we don't need this. Ain't nothing to keep on this. At all. So, bleg magrebi batliki magrebi sachi bisposi mablegi magrebi fachli bisosa blebi befbike magrebi sasin shkelbi garreba borrebi damsbi omblegi magrebi tosbi double blegi snot kitatsu to swat gebor in at number sat klaar gebied so smoblebi so swatsi kablis me en kalkish wat die magrebi fachli bisans basman sartika stachal. And there are 804,204 elements for this in the diversity of the whole as normal and not known microbiotic elements around, including germs and pyogenes and myogenes, and what it is the normal DRMC pseudomonial or pseudomona referred about bacterium and quote of viral DMC bacteriized. So suddenly, plegravet pavmasikal blekimo revet fochlavis what levis monomatleki repapachal kibis monomasens batish. كالكومارم بخال بكار ربط تصميتيني كالكيبو ربطوم مزمانا مسبس فتكش فتكا كالرود روبت تغمى بلاك مرة فخلاكي نسوس لبسوس ما انتقلي بيعرف ساليفاتيكا مرة فخلباتيكا كالكوباتيكا مرخطرين دلت بيسبوت لبيسباتيكا غيفوس ما مسنايا دلتك أختيش سبابلكي بخبانيك مرة تبو بسبات بسوش لوش كلوش كبيكا ربا خلوش ولا بسمان مسن كالكوبا ربا بخمخال كي بخ ربا بخلاكي مرة فخلا بسوس لمين سلكين بخ ربا فخلكي سباتكي مرة فخلا بسوس لبسمان مسفيس فاتيكا لكن لكي مرة بخلكي ربا باتلي بسوس لبسمان مسخش باتلكي مرة تسيما لكي بخ ربا سفوس بلاي ربا بخمان مسيسي لبسوس بيكام لكي مرة بسابيكا بلا تسيبا بلا بسابتيكا بلا خموري بسمان مسابات سي خلا تنئنات لكن مرة بخلكي جبرتا سي بلا شواد بن برغسي أبلغ مرة بخلك بيصد لبيدوان بلغي مرة تسمي لبس بار بتسلو وغرب دياشو ربا تخما خلقين forgive me بلغي مرة بخلقيني سبادلكين بلغي مرة بخلق خبت سما سبادين sorry ouch this is gross bad position missed control sorry alright بلاقي مرة بفاقلي بس فاقلي كام مرة بفاقلي مرة بس اسمي سنيا بلا بسوس فاقلي مرة بس بس متنين بلاقي مرة بفاقلي مرة بس فاقلي بس فاقلي مرة بفاقلي بسوس ماتلا بس ماتيش بس هبلي مرة بسام بلاقي مرة بفاقلي مرة بفاقلي باقتيكا مرة بفاقلي خمات ساقلي مرة بسوس أبلا بس ما مسدلي بات مسين يمعلم بلاقي مرة بفاق مصيبة بلا بسوس مير بلاقي مرة بفاق مصيبة بلا بسوس ما دام بلا بسام سم then in black horror bachmi kar bes fogle gimis hasibik leki bar befog masibo besos matin am black mar befog mat leki mar befog le besos le besos mat bes fakti kar mar khabias osfa as now leki mar this is really lot belik mar bes man masas magnu so evidently can bar befog le mar befog le gispat batleti kar khatsakh la bes man masas li bison so spati kar ratachin now protocollarly, ethically, you cannot ask ethics whenever we talk about criminals and sickness. Protocollar, the only protocol they know is the erection or hysterextasia for they to having power, ornament, no doubt. And the ones that, I said first and I'm saying, don't you see, he pretends. Ornament, sickness. Right. بلاقي مرة بفخلي كيمي مرة بسباقتي كارة داخلي بيشفط ما بلاقي مرة نمسمير أي توقتي كارة ببور بتير وتاخ مخلي كي بيراتني تابسو سوبلا بسوات سيديني. The elemental clear fact is destruction, healing, genociding, that's supreme. Who makes the most ever elemental for destruction and pain? It's the domain of. What will that mean? Ego has a reference, but it's not a core. Hosting is the mobile element for the proceed. Masonry. and corrupting, destroying, healing, and structuring. So, gelijk iemand hebben vergeleken met hebben vergeleken, the same night on first is exactly the same. Because of whoever two makes the proof